Senegal resurfaces to the Afcon finals after 17 years as they take on Algeria for the 2019 bragging rights on the continent. And then on Saturday, players and staff of Madagascar pulled thousands to the streets as the team was received home by the president and other supporters. The Republic of Congo says it is not ready to host next year's competition given the current state of economic affairs. We shall be getting a report from Brazzaville as to the decision. Thanks for honoring our invitation today on Africanews. Football Planet starts right now. Welcome to Football Planet. After 3 weeks of intense emotions, celebrations and heartaches, the best two sides on the continent will face off in this year's Afcon finals in Egypt. Dramatic events in Cairo on Sunday as Senegal took on Tunisia in the first semi-final game. A fairly balanced encounter filled with high moments as two penalties were stopped by both keepers. The game was prolonged into extra time and it needed a goalkeeping spill that led to an own goal by Tunisian defender Dylan Brown, one that cost the Carthage Eagles the finals. The Teranga Lions returned to this stage of the competition 17 years after they lost to Cameroon in 2002. And Aliou Cissé, who missed the penalty in that finals, is set to right the wrongs this time around as a coach, and also praised his predecessor, Alain Giresse, sitting on the Tunisian bench.
Cette qualification à la finale, c'est pour lui aussi.
Qualifying for the final is a victory for him too, because I think he did a great job in Senegal.
Il n'a pas eu la chance d'être en finale comme moi.
He didn't get the chance to be in the final like me, but he is part of the work behind it. So bravo Alain.
Ce qui a motivé aujourd'hui, je peux vous le dire, plus le fait que j'ai envie d'être.
What motivated me, I can tell you this, when wanting to be a coach, was wanting to lead Senegal back to this final.
N'oubliez pas que j'ai fait partie des garçons.
Don't forget that I am one of the players who missed a penalty in 2002, so I had given myself the goal of becoming a coach and bringing Senegal back to that level.
D'être entraîneur et de ramener à ce niveau-là le Sénégal.
A wave of celebrations swept the supporters who showed up on Sunday after that encounter. Senegal is the best-rated side on the continent by FIFA ranking, but the Lions know the task ahead of them as they face an informed Algerian side in the finals. Speaking of which, Algeria, through a Riyad Mahrez last kick of the ball, crushed the hearts of millions of Nigerians after sending the Foxes into the finals. Algeria, as usual, led the game and forcefully pulled an own goal from Nigeria's William Ekong 40 minutes into the game before a VAR-aided penalty was transformed by Igalo at the 73rd minute. But Captain Mahrez had the final say with a trademark left foot curl in added time to make the difference. Algeria, in terms of statistics, is the best team with 12 goals scored and just 2 conceded, without ever worrying how it feels to be defeated throughout the competition. Statistics which speak in their favor ahead of Friday's final, as their fans expressed confident and total support from the French capital in Paris. So far in the competition, we've seen the VAR system aiding referees in the quarterfinals and semi-finals, but just as every novelty, it will take some time to be fully incorporated in the beautiful game, especially here in Africa. One man, considered an African great who is also discovering the technology, gave us his view so far.
For me, when I'm standing, if I'm old-fashioned a bit, but if there is no intervention from the VAR, I'm happy. But if the VAR is there to make things good for us, I'm also happy. I'm not a fan of waiting too long for the decision. But so far, the intervention from VAR has been absolutely fantastic. Not so much. We have not asked the VAR for 2 or 3, but I wouldn't want the VAR to make a decision against, so that we don't use the technology against our own football. And I think sometimes that is what we have to be careful about. But so far, the VAR has been perfect. Everything is working well, and I hope that we don't see too much of it, but that the best team win on the day.
And here is a complete program of what to expect from the final sprint of the Afcon. As for the first time, the finalists will have close to 5 days to prepare for the grand final, which comes up this Friday. And now, prior to the 32nd edition of the Afcon, a couple of players naturally assumed a spotlight position and carried the anticipation of millions of fans across the continent. They lived in a group of their own called Players to Watch Out For, and permit me say, they were actually on the spotlight, maybe for the unexpected reasons. Let's find out in the following report.
The 2019 African Cup of Nations is seen by many as an opportunity for African stars to replicate club form. However, many of these stars failed to shine. Egypt and Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah, the Afcon in Egypt, was an opportunity for Salah to lead the Pharaohs to glory, but this wasn't to be as the hosts were knocked out by South Africa. Salah's 2 goals, the competition was not enough. Other young African player who was touted as the next big thing at Afcon was Morocco's Hakim Ziyech, after having an incredible club success with Ajax in the Champions League and the Dutch League. Ziyech failed when it mattered most in the round of 16 when he missed a penalty kick which could have qualified his nation into the quarter-final stage, but they lost on penalties to Benin. Nicolas Pepe was a key figure at club level for Lille when they came second in French top flight. He was voted best African football in France, but the forward was a pale shadow of himself when all eyes were on him to lead Côte d'Ivoire to another nation's cup glory, but lost on penalty to Algeria in the quarter-finals. Nicolas Pepe failed to score a single goal in Egypt. He was named the best player in the 2017 Afcon in Gabon, but in Egypt, Christian Bassongo failed to lead Indomitable Lions of Cameroon to retain their crown. Bassongo's only telling contribution to the Afcon was proving one assist. He failed to register a goal in the tournament as Cameroon were knocked out by Nigeria in their round of 16 clash.
This other information for the records: Senegal's coach Aliou Cissé was captain for the Lions at the 2004 Afcon in Tunisia, while Algeria's coach Jamel Belmadi also captained Algeria at the same tournament. Today they have beaten the odds, and once again, at least a local coach is set to win the Afcon since 2010. Madagascar's football team celebrates with their supporters as they return home after Tunisia dampened their fairy tale Africa Cup of Nations run in the quarterfinals with a 3-0 win over the tournament debutants that was in Cairo. The team arrived in Antananarivo on Saturday with thousands of fans flooding the capital city's streets to celebrate them for their historic performance. The festivities reached peak when the national team was received by the president. The team remarkably scored 7 goals in their first ever participation, and their feat not only thrilled the president, but also sent a warning signal to the rest of the world.
From now onwards, you will hear about Madagascar. And Madagascar will shine in Africa. And we will qualify for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations tournament to be hosted in Cameroon. A fantastic welcome that warms the heart. Really, it shows that this goes beyond football. It's a very nice human adventure, and that explains why I'm very attached to this team.
Last week, there was a major blow on Congolese football as a letter addressed by the country's Sports and Physical Education Ministry in very clear terms told the president of CAF that the Republic of Congo will not be able to host next year's Africa Women's Championship, that is the female version of the Afcon. The Republic of Congo were named as hosts in 2018, and the 8-team competition was to run from November 28th to December 12, 2020. Let's find out the reason for bowing out.
Due to inadequate infrastructure, the Republic of Congo will not host the African Women's Football Cup next year. Brazzaville gave up the decision to host the competition after the African Football Confederation suggested modalities considered too difficult to bear by authorities. To host the competition, Congo was expected to upgrade infrastructure to a standard level, an uphill task considering the economic challenges the country is facing at this time.
On peut se poser la question de savoir comment est-ce que les autorités, voyant
It bothers me that despite red signals, Congo accepted to host the competition last year following the visit of Ahmad Ahmad.
ont accepté de
Governing is about looking at possibilities before taking decisions. They were supposed to make it clear that they will not host the event.
C'est aussi prévoir. Donc ils auraient dû, à mon humble avis, y renoncer.
At least they have been able to take the decision now.
Mieux tard que jamais.
Apart from economic issues, fans equally doubt the quality of Congo's national women's team. For me, the real reason for Congo's withdrawal is that our team is not competent to compete against other teams like Cameroon, South Africa, or the DRC. Besides, there is the problem of stadiums. We have only two in Brazzaville, the one in the suburbs of Kintele and Masamba-Deba. Hotel structures also do not respond. When you host a competition like this, you have to have resources. 4 years ago, in 2015, Brazzaville successfully hosted the African Athletics Games, but the fall in oil prices and persistent economic crisis has left the country devastated. For refusing to host the competition, the Republic of Congo is expected to pay a fine of at least $300,000 US.
And with that, we conclude today's edition of Football Planet. Remember to get more sports news and updates on the Afcon on our website, as well as our social media outlets, and also on our daily special Afcon show. From myself and the crew, bye-bye for now.